ministries or non-denominational ministries, they have not had a vehicle to get the type of training personally or in-house.
Right.
We even have programs where they can start educational programs within their own ministries to develop and train their own people in-house for the works of service. And so we extend that invitation to all in the community. We also focus on another side, besides just the spiritual. We realize that people are physical as well, and they're emotional and all those other areas. So we reach out into the community through what we call the angel food outreach on a monthly basis.
That's good.
Which is a food outreach, and it's interesting. They just updated the menu on that, Pastor. I just got the information yesterday that they have a seniors ministry menu now.
Okay.
That's low sodium and things like that for seniors.
Definitely.
Provide a lot more vegetables and fruit in their diet, because a lot of older people have different type of health issues than those who are young. So we're excited about that. We do that once a week, and actually we're partnering with another church in the community to do that, because for me, it's all about partnership, because no one ministry can see to the needs of all the needs that people have in the community. So unless we connect with one another, there are going to be some people going to be left out of the shuffle. And I'm like God, I'm not willing that any should perish. You know, we should try to reach as many as we can, and we have to have that right spirit of unity about one another. So
yes, well, we're talking about the Angel Food Program. Explain it to the audience and let them know, again, as far as the prices and what's available. Sort of talk about the menu.
Certainly. Yeah.
Amen.
As I was saying, our ministry is twofold. It's spiritual as well as physical. We want to minister to the whole man. And part of our physical outreach is called our Angel Food Outreach. And that's a monthly outreach where we provide boxes of food to people that can order boxes. And it contains about $60 worth of food, but it costs $30 for the box. We distribute it once a month here in Newnan, and we're going to work to make those deliveries to people who are homebound, people who may not have transportation, or otherwise. We can actually deliver the boxes, because other than that, you would have to come to a location to pick them up. But as our outreach, we're going to take the food out to the people in the communities, and there's also a seniors ministry menu that just started with that. And that menu for the seniors is actually $25 a month. And it comes with low sodium type foods and a lot less meats and things like that. It has a lot more fruits and vegetables in the senior menu, because their diet is a little bit differently because of health issues as they grow older. So that's a new thing we have. And they also have fruit and vegetable boxes that people can order as well. I think the price on that varies from $18 to $20 a month. But we'll give information toward the end of the broadcast where they can get my website, where I'll have links to all of these various ministries and things like that on the Angel Food. But that's going to be something that we're starting already. I think the next distribution will be in September, and there's still time to order all the way through the end of August for that. So just get in touch with me if you're interested in that Angel Food outreach, or you know someone who can take advantage of it. You may not want to take advantage. You may have an elderly family member or a neighbor who lives along next door. You may want to purchase a box for them, and we can deliver that box. So just however we can serve the needs of the people in the community, because people have more than just spiritual needs. People have physical needs as well. So we want to be able to reach out again to the whole person, mind, body, and soul. And so that food outreach is one of those avenues that we use to reach out to the community. And we do this not only in Newnan, but we also have cell churches that we plant in other states and even other nations. Now, of course, we can't take the Angel Food ministry to the other nations, but the other states, this program is available in all states. So our ministry back in South Carolina, they do the same outreach into the communities. So just contact us with the information at the end, and I'll get whatever information you need to you about that and how you can take advantage of it. So thank you for allowing me to do that.
So actually, when you talked about cell church, and the audience is probably concerned about things like that, sort of, I know you, you're very biblical with everything that you do, and so maybe there's some people that don't understand your purpose and your outreach for your ministry that God has specifically called you to do. And I believe that you're doing a great job with it. So just let the audience know about some of those things.
I do find that oftentimes we get so mindset in one way or another, and we think all ministry works the same. But there are different gifts in ministry. The gifts of the apostle, the prophet, pastor, teacher. Everyone has different gifts and different callings, different talents. My calling is in the area of apostleship. which is pioneering and governing the work of God in various areas wherever he leads. Now, Amazing Grace Ministries is a parent ministry. It's called ministries because there are three primary ministries that fall under that. That is the Grace Bible College and Seminary, which is our educational and training ministry. The Ambassadors Ministerial Fellowship is our fellowship ministry for those ministers that we train through our Bible college. And then they do global evangelism and discipleship all around the world. Not only in the U.S., but also in Kenya and Nigeria. We have over 9 nations that we've trained and equipped and have people serving in those areas to modeling the same type ministry that we do here. And then the Christ Universal Church is not traditionally what people would refer to as church as most people know it. It is comprised of small group fellowships, which we call cell churches. And they meet from house to house for teaching, for prayer, for breaking the bread, and for fellowship. It's designed primarily to get families involved in worship within their homes. Instead of just going to a place of worship, that their home actually becomes a place of worship, of training and teaching and learning for the family members. And so that's what we do. That's the model for that. We don't, a lot of people start churches in homes and then move on to something else, but this is not a start. This is what we do. This is the model that we follow consistently. We're not going to move away from cell church. We're not going to wait till we get so many members, then we'll go get a building and start a church in the traditional sense. No, because we feel that what's important is what takes place at home. It's more important than what takes place in public.
That's so good.
So the cell churches are designed for that, and it can be extended to include your neighbors, extended family members, friends, co-workers. They meet once a week. We do it here in Noonan every Saturday, 5 o'clock, at what we call our Covenant House. That's located here in Noonan. If anybody's interested in coming over on a Saturday, they usually start at 5 o'clock for teaching, prayer, breaking bread, and fellowship. You can come dressed as you are. It's not a church service. It's a cell church fellowship. And you're welcome to come over and be a part of that. We usually share a meal following the teaching. People can be relaxed and can share what's going on with their lives and can learn in the Word. So we just invite people to expand their thinking about church, think differently about it, understand that it's more than just what you do in public, but it's also what you do in private with your husbands, with their wives, parents, with their children, the example. Because when we go to traditional church, everyone's going to be dressed appropriately for the most part. People are going to be on their best behaviors. Most people are going to be smiling and things of that nature, but that may not actually be what's going on in their lives. And so when they get home, then they have issues with the children, and spouses have issues with each other on the way to church or on the way home from church. So we want to make sure that they take the same attitude they had in worship in a public setting and take it home into a private setting and still treat each other the way they treated all the members in the public arena. So we call those cell churches. And then once a month, we all come together for what we call monthly corporate worship. And that is part of what we do with our worship and training seminars that we hold on the first Saturday of every month here in Noonan. That's an opportunity for people who meet from house to house, whether in Noonan or in Atlanta or in Faribault or in LaGrange or in whatever cities or towns, that they have opportunity to come together for more corporate worship with other believers as well. So we're never trying to start. We always do all our meetings on Saturdays so that it won't conflict with people's other worship or religious activities on Sundays. Because we're not trying to replace that type of atmosphere. We're trying to add additional things to that, that experience, to let people know that not just public, it's also what you do in private that counts. Because if you don't get it at home, it doesn't really matter what you do in public.
That's the main thing.
So feel free to contact us about it. I help people to start what we call these cell churches in their homes. We just simply, they can come over and see how we conduct them. I can come into their homes and conduct some of the teachings and lessons with them, let them get a feel for how it operates and things like that. And then we provide resources available for all age groups, from toddlers all the way up to high school kids. Each group has its own specific resources that teaches them at their level of understanding. So I find it to be a great resource for parents who are trying to find a way to reach their children, because there's some things that children go through that they can't really relate to their parents about. Everybody doesn't have a good open environment at home where the children feel comfortable talking with mom and or dad about certain things.